What's up, y'all? Make sure this is everything's going good. It should be. Audio should be working properly. Yeah. All right, cool. Should be a good night. Make sure y'all aren't hearing. All right, cool. I was just making sure that the audio from the actual broadcast wasn't in my stream. That would have been a problem. Should be a fantastic night, though. I'll be talking about all the picks. Be touching on individual teams as well. Obviously, the Bears and the clock first. I think everybody knows they're probably going quarterback or potentially trading back here. I assume they're just going to go Caleb Williams. The big talk is going to be whether or not Caleb Williams actually plays for them or not. But we'll see. Man, if y'all haven't checked out my mock draft simulators, my actual mock draft, my position rankings, top 50 board, I did all that this week. I've covered most of the guys that should be drafted here tonight. I'm pretty confident that I've probably done a video on everybody that should go tonight, unless something weird happens. But we'll see. I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow or Saturday. Probably not Saturday. But either way, as a Dolphins fan, I will be covering every Dolphins player that gets drafted for sure. So yeah, but I wanted to at least cover the first round tonight. So, I felt like I had to do that. I mean, you don't watch 450 fucking players to not stream the draft. You know what I mean? At least the first round. Definitely interested though. I'm also interested in the Patriots at number 3. Let me pull up the Bears roster. What's up, Randy? Should be a good night, man. Should be a good night. Hopefully, the Dolphins don't do anything to piss me off. What do you mean? I'm watching on YouTube TV right now. It's fucked up. Do you try I think it's on multiple channels, ain't it? Okay. Gotcha. That makes sense then. That sucks. But yeah, I'll definitely let you know what's going on. And I do have YouTube TV one where I can actually watch it, but I also have the NFL Draft Tracker from the NFL website as well pulled up, so I can get a better idea of who's available as well. That's really stupid. That's really stupid. Let me Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many players. Like for one thing, this draft class is so stacked with offensive line that they're gonna have to do a lot to really piss me off. Not saying they can't do it, because they can still draft an offensive lineman and it not be the right one. It'll piss me off. Like if they draft like Patrick Paul or something, I might scream. Now somewhere on later in the draft, if he falls, I'm not necessarily against it, I guess. But if it's right now, I'm not interested. Yeah, I don't like Patrick Paul at all. I'm also not that big on Tyler Guyton either. But at least Tyler Guyton is athletic. Like he's an athletic freak. He's just raw as hell. But Patrick Paul, I just don't think is a good player. Yeah, I do also have Zach Frazier as a center, um, but that would be later. I'm not trying to see him get drafted for a little minute. Why is Spot Track being weird? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would love Jared Verse or Liatu Latu. Those are my top two edge rushers, for sure. I also like Chris Braswell. I think he's kind of being slept on. I actually like him better than Dallas Turner, which I know is probably blasphemous to some people. I just think Dallas Turner is very, very raw. I think in a few years, I mean, it wouldn't shock me if Dallas Turner ends up being a better player. But right now, I think Braswell is a little bit better. And I think he can play some stand up linebacker as well, like off ball linebacker, especially at like Sam or something. All right. Dude, Eminem looks weirder and weirder every year. Looks more and more like an alien. I definitely have Jackson Powers Johnson as a first round talent. I'm actually fine with Jackson Powers Johnson as far as his snapping abilities. The only issue I really have with him a little bit is his length, but he deals with that pretty well. So I'm not really too concerned there. Yeah. I mean, I do prefer Barton as a guard. Um, I do prefer Jackson Powers Johnson over Graham Barton. I do think that Jackson Powers Johnson can play guard. I don't think he'd be as good at it as he is at center though, just because of the lack of length. So I don't know about that. Shout out to Aiden Hutchinson. He's Hyping everything up. That's cool. You gonna let Eminem announce the pick, or like what are you doing? Yeah, I'm okay with that though because I don't think Aaron Brewer is that good of a player. I'd feel very happy with Aaron Brewer being a backup. I yeah. There's a lot of flaws in his game. He's not very powerful for one thing. I know. But like as much as I want to play like salary cap games, you know, I'd rather not have to pick Tua up off the turf or and you know, I'd like to be able to potentially create well, actually he is decent in the run game. Mainly I don't want to have to pick Tua up off the turf. Um that's just kind of my thought. Cool. The draft is starting. Yay! Let me see. I think I might prefer the ES. Yeah. ESPN one looks a little better. Yeah, the ESPN one looks a little bit better than the NFL one. Cool. But honestly, I kind of want to double up on interior offensive line in this draft. That's why in my most of my mock draft simulations, I've traded back at some point because I would like to get a guard and a center. Armarius Mims is very good. There's a lot of tackles. I think Troy Fats, Talisi Fuaga, either of them would be great. Yeah. Sometimes I've even tripled. I would agree. And I don't think Austin Jackson should be untouchable. Wouldn't necessarily be my first thought replacing him. But I kind of like Talisi Fuaga a little bit more than Mims. But this offensive line class is just stacked. That's really what that comes down to. But even if you get like a Jordan Morgan later in the draft, I think that well, it's not going to be too much later. It'd be like a early second, most likely. But sure, but like I don't want to keep moving Austin Jackson, if that makes sense. Like he was bad at left tackle, he's bad at left guard, and finally he has a good year at right tackle, and we're going to move him. At that point, I would try to just see if Armarius, if Mims can move over, you know, if he can just play left tackle. That would be my thought. And yeah, I think he can probably move. And I even think Amarius Mims could play guard if he needed him to. I don't think he needs to. Fuaga definitely can. And that's one thing I think we could do with Fuaga. Like think of like Tyler Smith for the Cowboys. You could put like Fuaga or even Troy Fats. You could plug them in at left guard right now, and then next year move them over to left tackle, assuming Teron Armstead isn't here anymore, or when inevitably Teron Armstead gets hurt. So I mean that's something we could kind of mess around with too. But luckily, as far as like a backup tackle goes, at least we did get Kendall Lamb back. Because I mean, inevitably, Teron Armstead is going to get hurt at some point. It's just what kind of severity are you looking at? Why are the Bears taking so long? That kills me every single year. Like, if you're first overall, like, you should know what you're doing. I don't agree. I do like Troy Fatts a lot. He's my number 3 offensive lineman for Miami or period. I do like Olu Fashanu and Joe a little bit better. Olu Fashanu is just more technically refined, and that's always my preference. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, if you were going to trade this pick, you should already know what you're doing. If you're going, presumably one of the quarterbacks, you should know which one of the quarterbacks you're drafting. Because either you're drafting Caleb Williams or you have bit into the idea that he might not want to play for you and you're drafting somebody else. But either way, you should know who you're drafting at this point. Where's my fucking shit getting blurry out of nowhere? There it goes. That shit kills me, man. But I mean, they have to go quarterback. I mean, you have nothing. I can't remember how to pronounce this dude's name. Tyson Bagent. He was a quarterback last year, the year before. I made a video on him, but I don't remember how to pronounce his name. He's there for the Bears, and then Brett Ripon is their other quarterback. So obviously they have to do it. They have to go quarterback. I assume it's Caleb Williams. To me, he is by far the best quarterback. I don't think Drake May, Michael Penix, or Jaden Daniels are particularly close. Well, but what if they do something crazy and do like J.J. McCarthy? I mean, I know they're not going to do that. One thing to keep in mind, too, is like my top 50 board isn't necessarily for the Dolphins. And Worthy is actually pretty decent in press coverage. Like he's small, but he actually deals with it pretty well because he's shifty. And you can do so much to stop someone from getting pressed with like motion and stuff like that. True. Yeah, I'm not that big on Quinn Ewers. I mean, maybe he'll improve next year because he went back to school, unfortunately. I say unfortunately because I'd rather see Arch Manning. But whatever. All right, cool. The pick is in. I assume it's Caleb Williams. I kind of wanted to not be Caleb Williams, to be thinking about it this hard. Yeah, Caleb Williams. Yeah. Shocker. Yeah, I mean, he's a good quarterback. You know, he's athletic. He can buy time in and outside the pocket, can scramble, can step in and out of the pocket, which is nice. Can throw a touch, very confident in his arm. I like one thing I have noticed when he runs is I'd like him to tuck the ball a little bit better. I think that could cause some fumbling issues. Has some wiggle to him, can make people miss, can be a little bit careless with the ball. Plays hero ball sometimes when he doesn't need to. Sometimes just needs to learn to, live to another down, throw the ball away. Also tends to sometimes scramble when he doesn't need to. But he has shown the ability to play with a bad offensive line, which is important, even though the Bears don't have a terrible one. Looks people off pretty well, can throw the football well, even off platform, has all the arm strength in the world, has shown some pretty good flashes of accuracy as well. Is willing to take a hit to deliver a ball, even though some people say, he has, effort and toughness question marks. I don't really believe in all that. Really, it's just some of the decision making that I think could improve, but whatever. Yeah, of course. And I do have my full position rankings and my full big board of like all 450 players on my notes to the left as well. Like I did a top 5 position rankings, but I have all my position rankings ready. Let me see. I mean, my mock draft, I think, was pretty. Well, I guess that's different. I think the Titans, assuming there's no trades, right? I would say the Titans would probably be the one. Because, I mean, I assume Commanders and Patriots both go quarterback. I would assume that the Cardinals and Chargers would probably go receiver. I guess one of them could go O-line. Giants could go offensive line, but I think they might go quarterback as well. So I would say the Titans. I kind of hope it's Drake May for the Patriots. The Titans, though, I think I could see maybe Joe Alt for them. We'll see. I mean, I mocked Olu Fashanu because, in my opinion, he is the top tackle. But, I don't know what they're thinking. I would like the Patriots to take Drake May. I like Michael Penix and Jaden Daniels more than Drake May, but I do like. I mean, Drake May is a solid prospect too. Let me pull up the Patriots real quick. But like, are you really going to start Jacoby Brissett? I don't know if that's smart. I can close the Bears one though. I don't know. But right now, the Commanders are on the clock. I assume they're going quarterback. I assume. But, I mean, you can make a case for them building the house, too, I guess. I mean, Marcus Mariota was there, but. I mean, it might matter what the Commanders do here, too. Oh. The Commanders are on the phone with someone. Really? Dude, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will take Jaden Daniels. I don't think people are as high on Michael Penix as I am. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on. But it's pissing me off. Dude, I was fucking with it forever before the draft started. And now it's all types of fucked. Is there a pick in? No, it is not. But like I said, they were on the phone with somebody. I don't think it would be a bad idea for the Commanders to potentially trade back here, depending on the kind of haul they could get. Because, I mean, they could, like, hang on to Marcus Mariota and, like, build the house, Kind of like you were saying with the Patriots. I think the Patriots could potentially trade back too. That looks a little better. I don't know, man. All right, pick is in for the Commanders. They did not trade it. I'm interested to know who was on the phone with them and what kind of offer they were sending their way. I am drinking a little bit tonight too, but not too much. I ain't trying to get fucked up on stream, but I am off tomorrow, so I do have the benefit of that. All right. Hidell's coming to the podium. What do we got? I'm just scrolling down my Jaden Daniels notes, assuming it'll be him. Yeah, Jaden Daniels. So, good quarterback from LSU. Can absolutely hurt you with his legs. Very, very athletic. Has a big arm. Can absolutely make you miss an open space. Has shown the ability to throw with touch. Has good anticipation and accuracy. Keeps his eyes downfield when he's scrambling, which I love. Can throw the football very well on the move and off platform. Has a bit of a fumbling issue, I will say that. And sometimes can hesitate a little bit and hold the ball too long. But that kind of comes with a mobile quarterback like him. But he's at his best when he's playing with confidence. So now that he's a Commander, you're going to want to get him with an easy completion early, probably to Terry McLaurin, get both of them on the same page and build that confidence, build momentum with him. Decision-making can be a bit of an issue at times, but again, that momentum is going to help. For the most part, I think it's pretty solid. Really good pick here, honestly. All right, let me pull up this. Getting the Cardinals one ready, too, for after the Patriots are over. So I've kind of talked about the Patriots a little bit already. They could go quarterback here. If they can get a decent haul, I think trading back actually would be a good idea for them. If not, I mean, if they feel good about Michael Penix or Drake May, go for it. But like you said, Randy, I mean, going like, Marvin Harrison Jr., or if they like Malik Neighbors better, you can make a case for either of those two. I prefer Marvin Harrison Jr. very slightly. I think it's actually pretty close. But we'll see. I mean, because they definitely need wide receiver as well. I mean, their receiving core is pretty barren. I mean, they kind of need everything. If you throw a dart at a board full of positions, you'll hit one that the Patriots need. So, I mean, just besides maybe corner, but even then they could use depth. Everybody needs depth at corner. So the Patriots are on the clock. I would still probably, but I guess they don't have to go quarterback here. I guess they could try to go like Bo Nix or something later, or like J.J. McCarthy. But I guess we'll see. I mean, Jacoby Brissett is a viable bridge quarterback, I suppose. But Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas, KJ Osborne, Juju Smith-Schuster, that is a pretty barren receiving core. And you know what? I'm interested to see what happens. This is the first Patriots draft that I've been able to pay attention to without Bill Belichick. So I'm curious to see what kind of quality of a draft that they're going to end up with, because I don't think Bill Belichick could draft at all in the later years. I think his drafting ability went out the goddamn window. So we'll see. Have they? Their pick is in. They did not trade it. Patriots are on the clock. Let's see what we got. Why are they shocked that the Patriots only took 5 minutes? I mean, it's not shocking that the 2 first picks were Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. The Patriots should have already anticipated that this would be the case. Of course, they got their pick in quickly. What? Let's see what we got. They could go a lot of different directions. They're saying for the Patriots not to get cute. They still could have gotten cute depending on who they ended up drafting here. I mean, quarterback, wide receiver, either of those would make sense. You could even say offensive line potentially. But that wouldn't really make any sense. You don't go with any of the offensive linemen in the Patriots case when Marvin Harrison, quarterback value and also, Malik Neighbors are all available to you. None of the tackles touch Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison in terms of value. Not in my opinion. Cardinals are already on the clock. I'll talk about them after the Patriots pick. Well, I guess I kind of already talked my Patriots point, so I guess I can kind of touch on the Cardinals. Oh, never mind. They're about to announce it right now. It is Drake May. Okay. Not a great decision in my opinion, but he is a good quarterback. Has some speed to him, can buy time. And he also keeps his eyes downfield when he's buying time, which is great. Has shown the ability to throw with velocity, and he can throw back shoulder passes with touch. Really good arm. Can throw the football well on the move, including off-platform throws. Comfortable in the pocket or out of the pocket. Plays with a lot of confidence. Has some he can throw with some anticipation. Looks good in the pocket. I do think his accuracy and ball placement could be better. He also slides very well, which is an underrated thing. But he's also very willing to take a hit to deliver a clean ball. Looks people off. Decision-making also could be better. Has a lot of good physical gifts, but the accuracy and decision-making, ball placement, those are all things that I think could stand to improve. No, I would not have taken Drake May. I would have gone Michael Penix. I would have gone Marvin Harrison. I would have went Malik Neighbors, or I would have traded the pick. That would have been what I would have done. Any of those would have been better than Drake May, in my opinion. But, who am I? But he does have some interesting traits. For sure. There is a reason he was considered the number 2 quarterback in this class for a while. He also plays a little bit of hero ball at times, too. It's one thing I'm not a big fan of. But that kind of goes into the decision-making I was referring to. All right. Let's get into the Cardinals. They could go. I mean, I assume they're going Marvin Harrison here, or Malik Neighbors, I guess, if they prefer Neighbors. But Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, Chris Moore, Zach Pascal. I mean, they need wide receivers so bad. Like, I think they have to go with Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors. I don't think they really have much of a choice. If they don't, I'm laughing at them. I mean, they could go offensive line as well. Their offensive line is looking pretty suspect. But I would go wide receiver. I mean, like I said before, I think that Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors are clearly better than all of the offensive linemen in this class. I mean, they're, in my opinion, the number 1 and 2 players in this draft. I mean, I even put that on my big board. But that's my opinion. We'll see what they decide to do. I definitely wouldn't trade it. I would not trade this pick with those 2 receivers on the clock, especially with how badly they need wide receiver. But I will say, going from Mac Jones to someone with some physical traits, I do think it's an upgrade. I do think it's an upgrade over Mac. But, whatever. Defensively, yeah, there's no defensive players that would really make a lot of sense here. There's no edge rushers in this class that would make sense here. Corner, I mean, they do need corner, but no. There isn't like one of them type of dudes either. I mean, this is a good cornerback class, but it's not like a super, super elite top heavy. Jordan Travis, yeah. I think that value there makes sense. Of course, we'll have to see what else is on the board, but I do have him around that evaluation as well. Let me see. Jordan Travis. Yeah. I think he could even potentially go in the 5th. But we'll see. I kind of have Jordan Travis, Joe Milton, and Michael Pratt, like kind of all in the like same little area. And then right after that is like the Talia Tagovailoa, Keaton Slovis area. It's crazy how much Keaton Slovis has fallen. Like if he would have came out like a year or 2 ago, like I think his value would have been a lot higher. But all right, Cardinals pick is in. It's actually going faster than normal, it feels like. I like it. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. Absolutely. Great pick. Absolutely great pick. Makes total sense. Let me pull up my notes on him. Great player. Obviously, the lineage, of course, with his dad. Ohio State, they moved him absolutely everywhere in the slot, out wide, and you should absolutely do that at the NFL level. Great hips, great feet, fantastic route runner, has good head and hand fakes. Pretty good yak guy as well, very explosive, very fast. Great versus press coverage. And for him being as tall as he is a very good route runner. Great acceleration, good on 50-50 balls, understands defenses to a very good level, especially with zone. Fumbles are the one thing I think he could kind of stand to clean up a little bit, but it's not that big of an issue. I like him a lot. That is a fantastic pick for the Cardinals. And yeah. So before I talk about like the next team, I always pull up the one after that. So as I'm about to talk about the Chargers, I'm now pulling up the Giants as well, so I can talk about them next. So now that as far as the Chargers go, I mean, I feel like they got to go wide receiver as well. Like Joshua Palmer, Quentin Johnson. Like I feel like they got to go wide receiver. They just traded away Keenan Allen. They lost a lot of talent at wide receiver. They lost Mike Williams as well. And Malik Neighbors is such a fantastic prospect. I feel like that has to be the pick. I guess. No, I really can't even say offensive line. Like, it's got to be Malik Neighbors. It's got to be. I really can't imagine this being anybody else. The Giants are going to be interesting. They're going to be very interesting. They're going to need quite a lot. They're predicting Joe Alt for the Giants. I mean, I guess. I think Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas is fine. This is interesting. But yeah, I mean, this has got to be Malik Neighbors. Like, just go ahead and announce it, man. And you don't trade back from this. You do not trade away from Malik Neighbors. You just don't. But Marvin Harrison, that is a fantastic pick. And that's going to help the Cardinals out a lot. And I do like Rome Odunze as well. And I know you were talking about him. He is a very good prospect as well. Another first-round talent, in my opinion. But I just, man. And it reminded me of it because in my notes, Rome Odunze is like right below him, like in terms of when I watched them. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. They were talking about Trey McBride. Like, I love Trey McBride coming out of the draft. Very well balanced tight end. That was a couple years ago, though. Come on now. Man, we were moving so well. Let's check out what Twitter's saying. I agree. People are kind of roasting the Patriots for the Drake May one, yeah. Let's see. Let me see who. Let me take a look. I'll give you my prediction on who the big fuck up could be. The Falcons make some pretty suspect decisions. It might be the Raiders at 13. They're always good for a good fuck up. Giants could as well, but I feel like right now there's too many good players on the board for you to totally fuck it up. But I think 13 you definitely could. Raiders could go like Bo Nix or something at 13. And I will laugh at them. I will laugh at them. I'm not necessarily saying that they shouldn't go quarterback, just not Bo Nix. Like if Michael Penix is somehow still around, yeah, go ahead and do it. But, boy, I will laugh at them. I wouldn't take J.J. McCarthy there either. I'm not as big on him as other people seem. Well, I won't even say that. I think most people are looking at him as like a second-round talent that's probably going to go somewhere in the first just because he's a quarterback. Really, you could even argue like almost like early third-round talent, but it's going to go sooner than that. Man, I really got busy this year. I watched Davius Richard, quarterback from North Carolina Central. Just kind of scrolling through my notes a little bit. Quinzel Lockhart. That would be crazy if they went and pulled one of them out of nowhere. This commercial break is taking forever. Is there a pick in? Yeah, it is. All right, man. Let's announce the pick already. We know it's Malik Neighbors, or at least it should be. If it's not, I'm probably going to laugh. I don't like the Chargers, so. More like I don't like their fans. And it is a bit of a small rivalry at this point, too. All right, man. No trade so far, though. And I don't think there really should have been. Necessarily. The Patriots could have potentially, or just gone wide receiver, but we'll see. All right. Let's go. I'll be interested to see what the Giants do, actually. They're not trading it. I'll be interested to see what the Bears do at 9 as well. Come on. All right, here comes Goodell. Here we go. I assume it's Malik Neighbors. Joe Alt? Oh, right. I mean, I assume they're going to move him to the right side, right? Malik Neighbors is still available. The Giants got to get him. They got to get Malik Neighbors. If not, Malik Neighbors has someone kidnapped somewhere, and these GMs know it. All right, Joe Alt. Good player. It's just kind of weird. He's a left tackle. But they got Rashawn Slater at left tackle. I assume they're going to move him over to the right, start him over Trey Pipkins. I would imagine that's what will happen. Man, I am dumbfounded. But anyway, Joe Alt, very good player. Don't get it twisted now. 6'9", 321 pounds, so massive human. Climbs actually pretty well for his size. And, obviously has great length. But when he can't get his hands on you first, he is quick to grab your elbows, which is nice. I do like that. Doesn't settle for bad hand position. Fights to get his hands inside. Not a great punch. Actually pretty good athlete. For him being 6'9", his feet are actually pretty decent. Kind of catches people rather than punch. Will give up ground slowly against bull rush, which is nice. Despite him being 6'9", he actually has decent knee bend, so he gets lower than you would expect him to. Leans and reaches a little bit still, though. He is 6'9". That is a bit of an issue. But I do like him. I do like him a lot. And he has a lot of physical traits, like crazy amounts of physical traits to be a really good player. So, yeah. That was strange. That was very strange. I feel like the Giants have to go Malik Neighbors just because he's available. I feel like the only way they don't go Malik Neighbors, well, I guess they could just make a bad decision. That's always a possibility. But unless they go quarterback, it's the only way I'm not laughing at him. Because that was stupid of the Chargers. And I'm not saying they got a bad player, because Joe Alt is a good player. But, man, Malik Neighbors is crazy good. A lot of reputable people have him actually as their number 1 receiver over Marvin Harrison Jr., and I don't hate him for that thought. I really don't. It is close to me as well. He is my number 2 overall player in this draft. But, you know. Let's see. If they go J.J. McCarthy here, I am going to laugh at the Giants, though. Like, that is going to be funny to me. I mean, if they go Michael Penix, I'm not going to laugh. Like, it's not going to be hilarious to me. Like, that would make sense. They do need a quarterback. But honestly, you have Daniel Jones, who isn't good. But I would draft Malik Nabers and not think about it. Daniel Jones ain't Jacoby Brissett and Marcus Mariota. He's just not. Pick is in for the Giants, though. So I was predicting that Joe Alt would be a Titan. So now I don't know what to do. I assume they still go tackle, though. All right, let's announce the pick already. I do like the pace of this draft, though. It's going pretty fast, which I'm loving. All right, here we go. A lot of great offensive linemen left, but I feel like they got to go Malik Nabers. Unless they go Michael Penix. Don't do J.J. McCarthy. I think Daniel Jones is better than him. All right, Malik Nabers. I bet. I don't have to make fun of you. That is the correct move. So yeah, LSU, fantastic receiver, 6 foot, just under 200 pounds. Deals with press coverage very well. Very good in scramble drill, which will be very good for Daniel Jones, actually. So when the quarterback is scrambling, he's good about coming back to the ball. Very explosive, great acceleration, really good speed, solid route running, can absolutely create space. Understands leverage and coverages to a very good degree. Good yak guy. Not afraid to lower his shoulder into somebody, actually. Lines up all over the place on the offense. Competitive, physical as hell. Tracks the ball well, great hands. Kind of a jack of all trades. My little bit of a comp, and I don't really do player comps, I think he's a more athletic Chris Godwin, where he doesn't like stand out in any particular area. Like he can be a deep threat, but that's not really what he is. He is a good route runner, but he's not like, you know, a typical slot receiver. He can do a bit of everything. So that's kind of my thoughts on Malik Nabers, and I think he is a fantastic prospect. I really do. And I absolutely think that this was the correct move for the Giants. So let me go ahead and get ready. So as far as the Titans go, I still think they should go tackle. Olu Fashanu is still available. Joe Alt is gone, so I would go Olu Fashanu. That's who I mocked to them. He's still available. They still need tackle really bad. I can't really see anything else. Maybe corner, like Terrion Arnold or Nate Wiggins or whoever their top corner is. They have Quentin Bohanna. I didn't realize that. Just kind of looking at their depth chart. I assume they're probably going to end up with a power back at some point. I mean, they do have Hassan Haskins. Just kind of looking. All right. Have the Titans? Nope. Titans have not made their pick yet. Falcons following them shortly. I think the Falcons will probably go edge. And if they do, I think Laiatu Latu would be the best option. But the Falcons make weird decisions sometimes, so we'll see. they might fall for the Dallas Turner propaganda. We'll see. That does sound like a Falcons move to me. I do think the Malik Neighbors Giants thing. I think that's some very good value. That gives them a really good number one receiver that they really haven't had really since Odell. I mean, they have had some decent ones, but I think Malik Neighbors is better than all of them. Man, DJ Moore is actually a decent player comp as well, actually. But I don't think he's just a yak guy. No, I agree. I'm not for Dallas Turner either, but that sounds like a Falcons thing to do. They in recent years have really valued athletic guys that don't know how to play football. Now, granted, I understand they have a new staff, but we'll see. As far as the Titans go, I think they should go tackle. Olu Fashanu's there. Troy Fats is there. Fuaga's there. We'll see. And I am going to be calling him Troy Fats because I struggle with his name. So that's pick is in for the Titans. Nice. Don't hesitate. You have a bunch of great tackles available. Just don't do like Tyler Guyton or something. And you'll be fine. Troy Fats, Fuaga, Olu Fashanu, all those guys make sense. Damn. I hate it when the pick is in and then they go to commercial. Like I can't stand that. I would have laughed at the Giants though if they would have drafted a quarterback worse than Daniel Jones right there. I would have laughed. But that also sounds like a very Giants thing to do. All right, let's see what we got. Their running back room is very different. Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears is so weird for the Titans. But they do have a nasty little receiving core, though. Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins, Traylon Burks, that's pretty dangerous. Definitely improve that offensive line. And I think the Titans could have a pretty potent offense. I do think they're going to need to improve at tight end at some point, but not now. I don't think Brock Bowers makes sense right now. I am interested to see where he goes. And you know what? Tight ends do fall sometimes. If somehow he made it to 21, I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate that pick. Depending on what else is available, of course. And most likely I'll prefer someone else over him. But very good prospect. It'd be crazy if we actually see a safety go tonight. That'd be crazy to me. Literally any of them. I don't like any of them, really. Like, I got Cameron Kitchens as my top safety. Don't really like him. Like, he's a all right third-round talent. But, man, it's just a bad safety class. I had more fun watching punter this year. To be honest with you. I did watch some punters, kickers, long snappers. But then again, I hate watching safeties anyway. But, you know, it's boring. Damn. Are Chargers fans actually pissed? I mean, yeah, Malik Neighbors definitely was the correct move. But, I mean, Joe Alt is still a good player. Still a really good player. But, yeah, a lot of the mock drafts I've seen, I meant to do some reaction videos to them, but I never got around to it. I thought that a lot of people were thinking Joe Alt would go here, but I guess not. All right, let's see what we got. I assume like Olu Fashanu, maybe Fuaga, maybe Troy Fats. Amarius Mims could be sneaky here. J.C. Latham. I mean, they did go offensive line. I think this is very early for him. That's a little weird to me. It is a very big need for them, but the value's weird. He is a good player. Don't get it twisted, but that's a little funny. I do think he's a first-round talent, but there was so many better offensive linemen on the board. But anyway, he's 6'6", 242 pounds, so a massive human. Great finisher, good hand technique. For his size, he moves well and has solid enough feet. Strong as shit. Does not get bull rushed very easily. Doesn't settle for bad hand position. I think right now he plays tackle, and I think he's decent at it, but I think he'd be absolutely crazy at guard. Plays on the right side right now. Speed can hurt him on the edge sometimes. I had him as like a late first, but man, that's very early for him. But man, keep it up. I wasn't really looking at J.C. Latham at 21. That pushes some other people a little bit further. We'll see. So now we've got the Falcons on the clock. I assume they'll be going edge. Let me pull up the Bears again. So right here, I think Laiatu Latu, I think, would be the best option for the Falcons. They need edge rusher real bad. And he is my preferred one. I like him over Verse. I like him over Turner. Yeah, I agree. That was best case scenario. Like if they were going to take tackle, that's not the one I wanted. Not that I would have hated having J.C. Latham on this team, but definitely not my first choice. But I assume this is Latham. I feel like it almost has to be. We could even get back-to-back edge rushers here, which I think is what I mocked. Hey, man, I didn't think J.C. Latham would go where he just went. Things can happen, man. Teams make bad decisions every year. I just hope we aren't one of them. That was the first, actually kind of bad decision. It's not horrendous. Horrendous would have been Patrick Paul, but man, that was. Let me pull up my offensive line rankings real quick. So J.C. Latham is my 8th ranked offensive lineman. I like Olu Fashanu, Joe Alt, Troy Fats, Jackson Powers Johnson, Graham Barton, Talisi Fuaga, and Amarius Mims over J.C. Latham. Joe Alt was gone, of course, so that eliminates him. But, man. And if you wanted to tackle, Troy Fats or Talisi Fuaga or Olu Fashanu would have been better. If you wanted a guard, I think Graham Barton is better. I think Troy Fats would also be a better guard. than J.C. Latham. But, you know, whatever. All right, Falcons pick is in. Let's get it. Let's announce the pick. Really? Rappaport is saying that the Falcons are considering Michael Penix. That sounds like a smokescreen to me. They just paid Kirk Cousins so much money. Unless they have an out in a couple years, that'd be crazy. I feel like they should go edge. Laiatu Latu's here. They could go for the Dallas Turner or Chop Robinson smokescreen. Chop Robinson would be a little funny. But, you know. I don't think it'd be Chop. Let's see. Let's see what we got. And Bears, like I said, I could see this being back-to-back edge rushers potentially. Wide receiver, they do need wide receiver, but I don't think any of them make a lot of sense. But here we go. Falcons pick is in. Goodell's walking to the podium now. They did take Michael Penix. Oh, my God. Wow. I'm going to pull up Kirk Cousins' contract right now. Contract. What? I'll talk about Michael Penix in a second. Let me pull up my notes on him, too. That's insane. What? That makes no sense to me. Huh. So it looks like they might have an out. I'm so confused. Let me talk about Michael Penix. Let me give him his just due. Because that's not fair. He's 6'2", 216 pounds. Has a bit of a injury history as well, which isn't great, but is a fantastic prospect nonetheless. Ball absolutely jumps out of his hand. Good ball placement. Looks defenders off. Good velocity, but also can throw a touch. Sees the pocket very well. And, sees the field very well. Is mostly a pocket passer. Very confident. Really good arm strength. Mechanics have really improved this year. Throws with a lot of anticipation. Not much of an athlete. Like I said, he is a pocket passer, but he can buy a little bit of time. Can throw back shoulder. Works well to his checkdowns. He reads high to low, which is great. Very accurate quarterback as well. Fantastic prospect, honestly. If he does miss somebody, it does tend to be an overthrow. That is something I have noticed. But, he's a great quarterback. It's just weird. The Bears pick is in. Weird. I don't understand. What? Whatever, man. Whatever. So the Bears are up next. Man, that threw me for a loop. Like, it took me a second to reset my brain. Wow. And I don't want to laugh because, like, Michael Penix is a good player, but I was just looking. Michael Penix will be 28 when Kirk Cousins' contract is up. All right, whatever, man. So the Bears could go a lot of. I mean, all the edge rushers are still left. They need edge. I feel like they should do that. What? Oh, Bears pick is in. Jets are on the clock. Okay. I misunderstood what they were saying. Okay. So the Bears put their pick in very quickly. That was weird, man. All right. Goodell's coming to the podium. Let's see. I mean, there's your guy. There's your guy, Rome Odunze. I don't love that value. I'm going to be honest. But good player. Definitely a good player. 6'3", 212 pounds. Actually, pretty quick feet for his size. Good stiff arm. Good contact balance. Good yak guy overall. Solid acceleration. Long speed is good, not great. Route running, not as great. But good body control, good hands. Solid blocker. Good catch radius. Might need to be schemed open a little bit, but great great red zone guy, very competitive player, uses his size well, doesn't quit on the play, makes some crazy catches, but does have some concentration drops at times. Needs a pretty accurate quarterback, in my opinion, which he now has in Caleb Williams. Attacks the ball very well. So, yeah. Yeah, I also feel like it has to be. I don't like the Odunze pick. I definitely disagree. I do agree. I do agree that it will be a good receiving core. But I just feel like edge would have been better. But yeah, I do agree. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, Tyler Scott, even Cole Kmet at tight end. DeAndre Swift is a good receiver out of the backfield. So is Khalil Herbert. I mean, so they definitely got some options. But I would have looked for someone over DeMarcus Walker as your other edge rusher. And you had your pick of edge rushers. And I think the edge rusher runs out before wide receiver does. So that's my thought. But yeah, I assume this is J.J. McCarthy. Man, it's been a fun night, though. It definitely has. But they definitely need a quarterback for sure. I assume they'll be going J.J. McCarthy. I don't see why you would trade up. He'll be sitting behind Aaron Donald. They're going to need some help, though. But they do have some good talent. I mean, Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hockenson. I mean, that's some really, really solid talent. But they're going to need a little bit more help than that. Yeah, the Jets killed that. The Jets weren't going quarterback anyway, most likely. I mean, I guess they could have. I mean, who knows how long Aaron Rodgers has. And they did trade Zach Wilson, which I thought was hilarious, by the way. Also, wearing my Reggie Bush jersey tonight in honor of him getting his Heisman back. Forgot to mention that. It's still kind of weird to me. And like I said, I don't want it to sound like I don't think Rome Odunze is a good receiver, because I do. But, man, I think there were better options, not only at receiver, but at other positions. But, whatever. Not my team. Man. It's got to be JJ. I mean, if they traded up for something else, what if they traded up for Bo Nix? That'd be hilarious. Or you were talking about Jordan Travis. That'd be even more funny. But yeah, it's got to be JJ. I'm not nearly as big on McCarthy as some people are, but we'll see. He can be a decent little game manager. It's really all he is. But like I said, he's got great talent around him. Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, debatably the best receiver in football. T.J. Hockenson, amazing player. Christian Darrisaw, who has been better in the NFL than I thought he would be. But, we'll see. The Jets are next. Jets are kind of interesting. I assume they go tackle here. They got their pick of them. Look to upgrade over Morgan Moses. And also, I think they're going to need tackle anyway. I just think Tyron Smith is probably going to get hurt at some point. So, there's that. But if they're looking for, right tackle, Fuaga would be the best bet, in my opinion. But I think Olu Fashanu is the better player. So we'll see. Alternatively, I don't know, tight end, Brock Bowers. They do need a safety. That'd be hilarious. Go like Cam Kitchens or Tyler Nubin or whoever the fuck they want at safety. But I assume it's tackle. I feel like it has to be. It's just Olu Fashanu and J.C. Latham that are gone so far. Let's see. All right, we're back. Nice. Let's see what Twitter's saying while I'm waiting on them. It is a little weird to me. Like, I'm seeing why would the Vikings trade up when they weren't going to take a quarterback. But I guess they could have. Like I said, who knows how long Aaron Rodgers has got. But I don't think they were going to. It is a little weird. It'd be one thing if it was like the Raiders or something. I mean, I guess it stops anyone else from trading up. I think they should have just stuck to their guns. What if it's not JJ McCarthy? It's got to be, but what if? That's depressing. All right, come on. Please don't give a long speech. Pay respect to your uncle, and then, you know. Yep, JJ McCarthy. All right, cool. So yeah, I think this is a little early for him, in my opinion. 6'3", 219 pounds. Has a little bit of velocity when he needs to. Has some speed to him. Can buy time. Throws well on the move. Anticipation could definitely be better. Holds the ball pretty bad. Needs to protect himself more. Arm strength is solid, like above average. Decision making needs a lot of work. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of him. Accuracy, I think, could stand to get better too. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that is true. That is true. This is fantastic for the Dolphins. J.C. Latham, Michael Penix, and J.J. McCarthy going in the top 10 is massive for us. And it is kind of crazy going the whole top 10 of a draft without a single defensive player. But, I mean, it makes sense in this draft. The offense is definitely better than the defense this year. Yep, Jets pick is in. You are correct. Let me pull up the Broncos in the meantime. What are the Broncos going to do? Are they really going to stop Jarrett Stidham? Or I guess Zach Wilson? I mean, Zach Wilson over Jarrett Stidham for sure. But boy, talk about them in a minute. Broncos are a hot mess. We're going to have a conversation one day if Sean Payton is actually a good coach or not, or if it was Drew Brees. I think that decision is going to have to be made soon. Or at least the conversation. I don't like him. Just as a person, I think he's a piece of shit. But, you know, whatever. Whatever. Jets pick is in, though. Like I said, I kind of already talked about my thoughts on the Jets. I think they should go tackle for sure. Edge could make a little bit of sense too. They're all still available. I don't know. Definitely not receiver. They got receivers on deck. Bro, looking at their depth chart, man, I already knew it, but Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams is insane. Tight end also could make sense. Brock Bowers here. But they really need a right tackle, so Fuaga, I think, could be a good fit for them. I'd like them to not take him. They should go with Bo Nix. You know? Aaron Rodgers might retire next year. Tyrod Taylor isn't your future. Those are the only two quarterbacks you got. They should go Bo Nix. That's what the Jets should do. 100%. If you don't want Bo Nix, settle for Devin Leary. It'll be fine, I promise. All right, here we go. Goodell's coming to the podium. I assume it's probably a tackle, if I had to guess. Could be an edge rusher. That would make sense, too. I think that's kind of a sneaky need for the Jets. Although they do have a good D-line. All right. Damn, that hurts. Olu Fashanu, that hurts. That makes sense, though. That makes total sense. Fantastic prospect. I ain't even gonna hold you. 6'6", 312 pounds. Handles power very well, sinks his hips well, and stops bull rushes. Great feet for his size. Really solid and consistent hands. Gets him inside well. Moves well in the run game. You can plug him in at tackle and forget about it. Right now, he's a left tackle. I assume you're going to move him to the right because you do have Tyron Smith. Good finish. Very consistent, good technique. Isn't really trying to kill anybody, but very good technique. Going to play very good football for you. I like him a lot. He was my number one offensive lineman in this class. It hurts my heart to see him go to the Jets, but it is a good pick. I kind of agree. I think we might see a run on tackles. Denver could almost go any route. They need everything. They need tight end. They could use receiver. They need a quarterback. Bad. They need offensive line. They could use an edge rusher. Whoever's the best on their board, regardless of position, Denver should do it. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see about them having to go defense. Because I think we might start seeing some defensive players go soon. Corner could make sense right now for Denver, too. Pair like Arnold with Pat Surtain. That would be insane. No, I think they said this was the first time all top 10 were first rounders. I think they said that. Although they say shit that's wrong all the time. Especially during games. I catch them with that shit all the time. Really need people to start going like corner or something. Safety. That's the thing. Like, I know the Dolphins need a safety, but I'm not trying to take safety just for the sake of taking a safety. This isn't a good safety class. They all make my ass itch. But, you know. Whatever. Let me pull up the Raiders, too, while we're waiting. That would be pretty massive for Denver. Honestly, if I were Denver, I would think about trading back. But they didn't. The pick is in. Because they need quantity. They need everything. But yeah, them taking Bo Nix would be huge. And they do need a quarterback. I mean, I assume they start Zach Wilson. It's better than Jarrett Stidham, at least, trying to hope for a future. But man, because I did like Zach Wilson coming out the draft. I'll be honest, I did like him. That was a miss for me. Oh yeah, I agree. Bo Nix is terrible value here. I agree. Anywhere in the first round is terrible value to me. But it would be helpful to us. But you know what? Denver Broncos make weird decisions, man, especially involving quarterback. How big is Bo Nix? Let me check my notes. I mean physical size. Yeah, he's not really John Elway's type. He likes quarterbacks that look like him. I mean, I guess that's not really true anymore. I mean, they did have Russell Wilson, I suppose. But they didn't want Russell Wilson. They wanted Aaron Rodgers. They settled for Russell last year. Zach Wilson actually makes perfect sense for John Elway. Let's see. You know what? The Raiders could be a sneaky quarterback thing too. Although I'm not sure that Bo Nix is actually better than Aiden O'Connell. I'm not sure he's better than Zach Wilson either. Guess we'll see. Let's see. Denver Broncos selection. It is Bo Nix. I was joking. What? What? They're comparing him to Tua? That's a weird comparison. That is a very weird comparison, I guess. Why? Because he doesn't have a strong arm? I guess. So 6'2", 214 pounds. A lot of experience. Has been in college, since before, the creation of America. Arm strength, pretty average, maybe above average. Decent athlete, can buy time a little bit, can throw well on the move. Very tough player. Bit of a quick release. Throws with a narrow base a lot, which I don't love. Comfortable in and outside the pocket. Stares down his receivers a lot, which I can't stand. Moves pretty well within the pocket, can buy time there. Has a decent pump fake, competitive guy. Doesn't really stand out in any area, but is overall pretty solid. I've seen this guy as a day 2 talent for sure. And I don't mean like an early second. I mean like late second, probably more like a 3rd round talent. That's bad. You asked me earlier who would make the first really bad decision. It was the Denver Broncos. Whoever made that decision, whether it be John Elway or Sean Payton or the both of them. Ugh. But you know what? I'm glad it happened. Not only is it good for the Dolphins at 21, but Bo Nix was also a 30 visit. We can nip that in the bud. We're not drafting Bo Nix. So you know what? Good for us. Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of agree there. But like Bo Nix, is like the first really bad decision. Michael Penix, that wasn't a great choice either, just because, Kirk Cousins. But Bo Nix had no right being drafted here. Man, that's hilarious. Well, I was wrong. The Raiders are not going to draft Bo Nix. I didn't actually think they would, but not because I didn't think he'd be available. Michael Pratt. Go Michael Pratt. He's my next quarterback. That's a day 3 talent, but, whatever. I don't care. Do it anyway. I'll laugh. Man. And still no defensive players. That's nuts. They need corner, though. All the quarterbacks are gone, so they're not going quarter. They can't go quarterback here. They do need tackle. They do need guard. This could be a bit of a trap for the Dolphins. Hopefully they go corner. All right, here we go. Raiders selection is in. Let's hope for a corner. Let's hope for something weird, too. Like Kalen King. Let's see. Oh, Brock Bowers. Okay. Did not expect that. Good player, though. 6'3", 243 pounds. I was not expecting to take a tight end. That's probably just like taking the top player available, which I can understand. Lines up in line, H-back in the slot, out wide. Very athletic. Can get you some yak. Can create some really big matchup problems. Really solid, angry blocker with finish. Could stand to get a little bit bigger, though. An NFL strength and conditioning program, I think, will help him a lot with that. Has actually decent head fake as a route runner, and overall for a tight end is a decent route runner. Good base and good hands as a blocker. There's a little bit of wiggle to him, which is nice. Plays with a lot of anger and tenacity. I loved him a lot. Good contact balance. I would like to see him attack the ball a little bit more when it's in the air. But, yeah, I like him a lot. I think this is clearly them just taking who they think is the best available. And I can see that. I can see that being Brock Bowers. So, yeah. Let's see. We got the Saints and then the Colts. All right, let's see. Man, the Saints really need offensive line. This could be another trap for us. They really could use a tackle. They could use some interior offensive line as well. D-tackle also could be something. This could be a bad situation for the Dolphins. But we shall see. The good thing is I do think the Colts will probably go defense. They definitely need defensive backs. Saints are still on the clock. Haven't put their pick in yet. Not a lot of receivers so far either. Like, not as many as I would think. But maybe because there are so many good receivers in this class. Because, like, if you would have told me that we've had 13 straight offensive players, I would have assumed that more than 3 wide receivers would be off the board. You know? And that Troy Fatts and Talisi Fuaga are still on the board as well. That's pretty crazy. All right. Damn, Saints are taking forever. They got to be on the phone with somebody. Maybe someone else is coming up for a quarterback. They've seen the run. No, me neither. Me neither. I do think one of our players is probably about to fall to the Saints, though. But the Saints sometimes make some really weird draft decisions. So maybe they do something weird. No, there's no quarterbacks left. But then again, I didn't think Bo Nix had a shot of going here. So maybe someone will be really stupid and go up for like Michael Pratt or fall in love with Joe Milton's arm. Whatever. I don't care. Maybe someone really... You know what? There was rumors people like Spencer Rattler better than most people. Someone trade up for Spencer Rattler. I won't laugh, I promise. I won't laugh at all. Buffalo. You do it. He's kind of athletic. He could be your receiver. Seahawks. Geno Smith ain't that good. Man, damn, the Saints are taking forever. Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, quarterback, you kind of have to. But, I mean, you kind of don't. Like, I would have rolled with Zach Wilson over reaching that hard for Bo Nix. Because you're probably going to be bad this year regardless. I mean, you're in the Chiefs division. And in a stacked AFC. I don't think that really makes a lot of sense, but whatever. They can do them, I suppose. They got to be trading this pick. I hope the Saints take all this time to draft something really weird. What? Let me see. What could be a weird player for them to take? I mean, they could use a quarterback. Derek Carr ain't that great. All right, their pick is in. They really need offensive line. They need a wide receiver. Brian Thomas wouldn't be like super weird, but it would be weird. Especially with the other people available. Especially at receiver. I'm not as big on Brian Thomas. But I can see the Saints doing something like that. Come on now. Saints have already had us waiting long enough. Let's announce the pick, please. I'm getting antsy. We are 7 picks away. Let's see. So currently, we've got Mims, Fuaga, Troy Fats, Graham Barton, Jackson Powers Johnson, Jerzon Newton, Byron Murphy, I guess, if you like him that way. So there's 5 players I'd be happy with drafting. And 7 picks left. I'm not as big on Byron Murphy. I think he can be very good. He's just kind of raw. Come on, do something weird. Do something real weird, New Orleans. Because I kind of feel like the Colts are probably going to go defense, probably corner. I think that might be where the first corner goes off the board. I feel like the Saints are going to go offensive line. Do something weird. Do Patrick Paul or Tyler Guyton. Tyler Guyton's being overhyped. Saints like people like that. Talisi Fuaga. Damn. Okay. Good player. I'm only upset because I was hoping he would still be available for the Dolphins potentially. That is another guy I was interested in. But good pick. They needed an offensive lineman. They need actually quite a few of them. Great pick. 6'6", 324 pounds. Gets his hands inside, doesn't set up a bad hand position. Feet could be a little better. Base gets a little bit wide at times, which is why his feet can be a little bit better. I think if he improved his base, I think his feet would improve as well. Good finish. Sometimes misses with his hands, a little bit more on the raw side, but absolutely has great physical traits. Very strong, handles power very well, very strong hands. I think his feet are actually decently fast. He just needs to fix his base. I think he plays, right now he plays right tackle. I think he could play tackle at the next level, but I think he would smoke people at guard. So we'll see. But that is a great pick. It is. I do agree with what they said. Leaving Fuaga on the right side. I wouldn't move him unnecessarily. But that's my opinion. But then again, Trevor Penning's kind of bad. So you probably will have to move him to the left side. All right, Colts are on the clock now. Let's see. They need some defense. They need DBs. Man. It's a weird thing to point out. Okay, whatever. They could use edge as well. They got all the edge rushers available. Pair like Liatu with Kwity Paye. That'd be pretty nasty. I didn't even think of edge rusher when I was looking at people available. Yeah, we got guys. I'd be happy with Liatu as well. So we got 6. Well, now 5 because Fuaga's gone. Go corner. Go with the corner, Colts. But you know what, though? The Dolphins, one of my preferred players might be on the clock, and they would take somebody else. It's a good possibility. That upset me. I do think the Colts should go corner, though. They do really need one. I think the Steelers, when we get to them, should probably go receiver. They're right before us. Bengals always need offensive line, Jesus, but they don't seem to value it. But we'll see. Colts are taking a little while. I just hope that the Dolphins don't piss me off. That's all I ask. Just don't piss me off. Let's see. Still waiting. I mean, they could technically go offensive line as well. Bernard Raymond isn't that great, but I hope they don't do that. But they really need corner. They could go edge as well. I mean, if they do, I hope they go like something weird. Go like Dallas Turner. Damn, why are they taking so long? All the defensive players are little. Well, I guess that could be why they're taking a while. They probably weren't expecting literally every defensive player in the draft to still be available, in fairness. All right, pick is in. Come on. Pick is in. Let's announce it so I have something to talk about, please. Please be the first defensive player. Let it be a corner, not an edge. Or if it is an edge, let it not be Latu or Verse. Let it be like Turner or like Chop Robinson. You can even take Braswell if you want to. I like Chris Braswell. Colts like Chris Braswell, right? Should like him. All right, here we go. Oh, I thought they were about to announce the pick, but I suppose not. What's the holdup? All right, we learning how to walk here? Like, what are we doing? I'm gonna feel like a dick if someone comes out in a wheelchair or something after I said that. All right, here we go. Damn, Laiatu Latu. Damn. That's a great pick. It is. Pairing him with Kwity Paye is huge. Damn. That's a good pick. 6'5", 259 pounds, so basically 260. Basically the ideal size for an edge rusher. He does have a bit of an injury history, which is his only real downfall, in my opinion. But fantastic prospect. He really is. Some bend to him. Good ball get off. Good rip move. Has a good spin and swim move as well. Can squeeze and set the edge well. Good hand fighting. Currently plays standing up, but I think he could also put his hand in the dirt. Has a great tool belt. Fantastic prospect. I think his run game awareness could stand to get a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's looking real suspect at this point. Definitely is. Damn. So now we got the Seahawks. They need guard. They could also go edge here. Corner would make sense. Man. I don't think they really don't need corner here. They drafted Devon Witherspoon last year. Rick Woolen's a good player. Edge could definitely make sense, though. Maybe they like Dallas Turner. That wouldn't hurt my feelings. Or maybe they like Patrick Paul. Or, I don't know. What would be a weird center for them to take here? Let's see. Cedric Van Pran. Maybe they like really, really like Cedric Van Pran for some reason. Maybe they do. It is hot as shit in this room, though. Oh my god. And this chair sucks. But we move. All right. I do think he is the best edge rusher, though, like by far. I mean, the injury concern is like his big thing, and like I said, I do think his run game awareness could improve. Like he kind of sometimes funds. He falls for like run fakes and stuff like that. But overall, I do like him a lot as a prospect. Also, whatever player the Dolphins do draft after this stream, I will be making a separate video too that should come out tonight. Assuming that I've already watched the film on him. I don't expect them to draft someone super weird that I have as an undrafted guy. I would really hope not. But, yeah, we'll see. We need someone I don't care about to go at some point. It's like I said, we got, let's see, we got Mims. We got Troy Fatts. We got Graham Barton. We got Jackson Powers Johnson. That's 4. Jazon Newton I'd be good with. And Jared Verse I'd be good with. That's 6. And, you know, I guess Byron Murphy would be all right. We do need defensive tackle pretty bad. There are some receivers I like too, but I don't really want to go receiver right now. Although I kind of feel like the Dolphins might do that anyway. You do have your pick of linebackers still, but that'd be real early for all them. Pick is in for the Seahawks, but of course they're going to go to commercial. Because why wouldn't they? Is that our first Senior Bowl guy? I haven't really been paying attention to that necessarily, but no, I don't think so. Nothing super interesting on Twitter. Looking for some reactions to shit. Probably be watching some other streams too after this. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow or Saturday. We'll see. Saturday's pretty unlikely. I mean, I'm going to watch it, obviously, but I think it'd be better to just, when the Dolphins make a pick, I'll just make a video each time. But I guess we'll see. We ain't got a lot of picks tomorrow either, which doesn't help my interest of streaming. But I felt like the first round, because I even contemplated not streaming tonight, but like I feel like you can't watch 450 players and then not stream. day one of the draft. That just didn't even make sense. Like I said, they could go interior offensive line. I do like their tackles pretty decently enough. This is taking forever. I kind of feel like edge is probably the move. They really need edge rusher. ESPN says they need corner real bad, but I mean, I think Tariq Woolen and Devon Witherspoon is pretty solid, and they're young. I mean, they could use. Well, I kind of like Kobe Bryant too. Yeah, I don't want us to go corner, but I feel you. That might be the best available. My top corner is still available. Terrion Arnold is my top corner. But I just hope they don't do something stupid. I wouldn't even be pissed about Terrion Arnold. I mean, I guess we'll see who's available, but I wouldn't be pissed about that. What'll piss me off is like Patrick Paul or Tyler Guyton. Because I don't want to take offensive linemen just for the sake of taking an offensive lineman. At that point, I'd rather go wide receiver. Still quite a few of those available. All right. I feel you with the whole military thing. But let's move on with the draft, though. I feel you. I'd love to watch this video afterward. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Never mind. I thought it was going to be a long, drawn-out thing, which it sometimes is. That's another reason why I don't really want to stream day 2 or 3, because the antics are crazy. Especially on day 3. They just do the most off-the-wall shit to just make the draft feel even longer. All right, let's see. Byron Murphy. All right. If you were going to take a defensive tackle, I would prefer you to take him over Jazon Newton. That isn't a bad pick. I just think he's kind of raw. Minnesota just traded up. Interesting. I'll talk about that in a minute. 6'1", 297 pounds, so just under 300. Great ball get off. Gets his hands inside. Not super powerful. Mostly relies on his explosiveness to win. Doesn't have much of a consistent tool bag, in my opinion. But he will sometimes attack the hands. Needs to get people off of him. Right now, he kind of runs down the middle of people. Doesn't rush with much of a plan. Kind of works himself out of position sometimes, too. Good contact balance. Has a decent rip move and a club move that I think he needs to use more often. I think he's a very raw player, but has a lot of really good physical gifts. But he is going to need a lot of work. But the Vikings trading up is interesting. Could they be trading up to go get Jazon Newton? Their pick is in. They definitely didn't hesitate. All right, let's see. What's your take on Byron Murphy, Randy? If you don't mind me asking. I just kind of see him as a raw 3-tech. I mean, yeah, line him up and B gap and just let him be explosive, sure. But, you know. That's fair. I think Trezon Newton's quite a bit better than him, though. I think, because like you said, I think he has a much better toolkit. All right, let's see. Vikings pick is in. I'm interested here. I mean, they traded up for J.J. McCarthy last time. Dallas Turner. Yeah, get him out of here. All right. All right. We're looking good. We're looking real good. He's 6'3", 247 pounds. He is a good prospect, just very raw, very explosive. Explosive. Stronger than his size would imply, for sure. Decent head fake to him. Great ball get off. Some good, pretty good speed to power. Not much of a tool bag, though. Once he's blocked, he's done. He has no counters. Can set the edge well sometimes. Gets his hands inside. Actually pretty decent in zone coverage for a corner. I mean, I'm sorry, for a edge rusher. Has some bend to him. Better standing up, in my opinion, than with his hand in the dirt. Shows a bit of a cloth pull that he doesn't use as much. Yeah, pretty raw. So, yeah, that we're looking great now. So we have what? 3 teams ahead of us. And in my eyes, you have Amarius Mims, that's 1. Troy Fatts, 2. Graham Barton, Jackson Powers Johnson, and Trezon Newton. Or Jared Verse. So we got 6 guys with only 3 people in front of us that I'd be happy enough with. I don't really prefer Trezon Newton or Jared Verse. I'd rather one of the offensive linemen, but I'd be good with one of the D-line guys too. I really want to build the trenches. So there's no way that all those guys get wiped unless we trade back. But Bengals are on the clock. I guess I should give them some evaluation as well. They could definitely go wide receiver here. For sure. They always need offensive line real bad. They need interior more than anything on the outside. Yeah. The tackle would make a little bit of sense. Actually, would make a lot of sense. So this could be Trezon Newton. What if it's like Devondre Sweat? Not that he's a bad player, but this would be weird here. They're still on the clock. Who's after them? Let me pull up the Rams as well. You see the Vikings think that they're doing what the Texans did last year in getting C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. But Dallas Turner and J.J. McCarthy is not the same thing. That is the wish version of that. That is not the same thing. That's not even a Walmart great value. That's Wish. Dallas Turner is a little better than JJ McCarthy. You know what's funny? Their draft would have been a little bit better, in my opinion, if you would have flipped their picks. If you would have taken JJ McCarthy at 17 and Dallas Turner at whatever it was, that would have made a little bit more sense to me. I'm not going to lie. I would rather Jackson Powers Johnson or Graham Barton over Verse. And I'm kind of even with them or Troy Fats. I hope the Dolphins don't fall for the Genjutsu of Xavier Worthy right now, though. Like, I understand our offense loves speed, but good God, we got to be able to throw it to these fast guys. We got to be able to, keep our quarterback upright. Yeah. And I agree, you can't go Worthy here, but you can't tell me you couldn't see the Dolphins doing that. I mean, Mike McDaniel's probably salivating at that 4-2-1. And I will say, this front office doesn't seem to value offensive line at all. So I hope we go offensive line, but you could be very well right. We could go corner or something weird. Just don't go safety. That'll piss me off. Literally any of them. Any of the safeties will piss me off. I know it's a need. Don't go tight end. I don't even really think tight end is as big of a need this year as other people seem to point out. I mean, I know we're going to need one for the future, but if it came down to it, you could do worse than Jonnu Smith and Durham Smythe. You could definitely do worse than that. Oh, we did it last year. We got some pretty decent enough value out of our tight ends. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. They're picking. It is. Steelers could be a trap for an offensive lineman too. But I kind of think the Steelers should go wide receiver. I think they should use this first-round pick as a package to go get Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, Troy Fats would – he screams Steeler. He really does. But I could also see a receiver. I think Xavier Leggett would be a very good fit for them, too. All right, come on. Pick us in. Let's announce it already. I'm getting antsy. I want to get to the Dolphins pick already. I mean, if someone picks up the phone and wants to give us something crazy, I'm down. Man, if you notice, in all my mock draft simulators, I've traded back. Well, at least close. But I think there's a lot of value in this draft on day 2. I really do. Especially at a lot of the positions we need. Like, we need a safety. You're not taking any of the safeties in this class in the first round. I wouldn't touch them until the 3rd round. All right, here we go. Goodell's walking to the podium now. Amarius Mims. That one kind of hurts. Okay. That's one. That's one. 6'8", 340 pounds. Had a bit of an ankle injury, so missed a little bit of time this year, but not really concerned about that. Actually, despite his size, he's actually pretty decent at getting to the next level. Good hands, good knee bend. Leans a little bit sometimes because of his height, which I'm not in love with. Solid feet for his size. I think he can absolutely stay at tackle at the next level. He plays right tackle. Definitely keep him there. One thing I have noticed is that I would like him to keep his head on a swivel a little bit more. Sometimes, gap exchanges can kind of get him a little bit raw, but overall a pretty good prospect. And it kind of hurts seeing him leave. And my oh, there it goes. My camera was starting to fuck up again. It's been going pretty good for a while. All right, we got the Rams next, and then the Steelers. Well, one of the guys I want is going to be there, but I don't know if the Steelers – I don't know if the Dolphins will actually, try to make me happy. Because now Troy Fatts, Graham Barton, or Jackson Powers-Johnson has to be available. And I think you might be right. I think they might pass on all three of them. All three of them could be available, and they might not take one. The Rams, though, they do need corner. They're all still available. They could use tackle too. Is that right? That's crazy. They said this is the first round pick the Rams have had since Sean McVay's been there. That's insane. I think they might. I think the Dolphins hate offensive line. I think so. They're going to make me sad. I knew there was a reason I brought alcohol. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Corner would piss me off even more. Because I don't think corner is as big of a need as people are making it out to be. To be honest. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, Kendall Fuller, that's a good 1-2. And then Kader Kohou, I think, will have a better year this year. And even if not, we got Nick Needham back. So, we got interior guys. I'm hoping Cam Smith will take a leap forward. I still want to take a corner at some point, but I don't think it's as big of a need as people make it out to be. All right. Here we go. Rams pick is in. They're finally using a first rounder. You know what? They're not used to it. Maybe they're confused. Maybe they're looking for a third round talent. Who knows? Aaron Donald retired. Maybe they get Brandon Dorlus or something. Let's see. McKinley Jackson. They might be. Maybe. Wouldn't be the first time. I mean, Bo Nix got drafted already. Crazier things have happened. You know what's going to piss me off is the Eagles pick right after us. And I bet the Eagles will draft a good offensive lineman. Because Philly knows how to draft. You know what? If we don't pick him, I bet Philly takes Jackson Powers Johnson. Assuming he's still there. If we pass on Troy Fats and take Jackson Powers Johnson or Graham Barton, I ain't gonna trip. I would rather any of those three over Verse. And I do like Verse. Verse would be my fourth option. Here we go. They're gonna go to commercial right before the Dolphins pick too. I feel it. Make me wait longer. All right, here we go. There goes Jared Verse. Well, you don't got to worry about the Dolphins passing up on him, Randy. So yeah, 6'4", 254 pounds, tenacious ass player. Great ball get off, good swim move, has a good cloth and spin move as well. Great tool belt. Good speed to power. He'll swipe your hands down. Very angry player. Great tool bag. And overall, very fun pass rusher. I think in the run game, I think he could stand to improve a little bit. Sometimes he gets over aggressive and out of position. He also falls for some eye candy as well. But overall, I like him a lot. I think he can play standing up. I think he can put his hand in the dirt. I don't think it matters. Fantastic prospect. The Steelers, though. Steelers do need corner. I mean, not corner, but center. Jackson Powers Johnson would make sense here. He's who I want. I want Jackson Powers Johnson. He's my number one choice available. Just because I feel like centers that can move people are hard as hell to find. Yeah, because the thing is, after the Steelers pick, I mean, we got Troy Fats, Jackson Powers Johnson, and Graham Barton. I'd be absolutely happy with any of those three. Pittsburgh can only even possibly take one of those three. And there's a good chance that they might not take an offensive lineman. I think they really need wide receiver. George Pickens is solid, but Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin, they definitely need an upgrade there. They pretty much got their pick of receivers. They do need offensive line, but I think wide receiver is a bigger need. I really do. They're not going to go edge here. They're pretty good there. They could go depth later in the draft, but corner could make sense to pair with Joey Porter. Yeah, man, I'm nervous as hell too. Definitely nervous as hell. You know, good thing is, I'm glad they're going to commercial before the Steelers pick, not ours. Now watch them do both. That's fucked up. YouTube TV really showed me a bunch of footage of dolphins, like actual dolphins. That's just rude. I'm already nervous about the Dolphins. Come on. I don't want to be looking at some goddamn jellyfish right now. I really just want to fucking know. In the event that we took a wide receiver, which I don't want, I would rather Xavier Leggett over Xavier Worthy. I'm just going to say that. Just because I feel like we already have Xavier Worthy, but a better version of him in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I think he's a little redundant, but a big body target would make some sense. I do want to take a big bodied receiver at some point. In a lot of my mock drafts, I've been targeting like Cornelius Washington. It depends. I don't want to trade back too far. If we do trade back, I don't want to trade back too far. Because I don't want to pass up on one of these linemen. Because I don't think they get past Philly and Dallas. I don't. Philly just lost Jason Kelsey, so I assume they'll probably end up with a center, and that would be Jackson Powers-Johnson. Dallas needs offensive line. I know they've been rumored for Graham Barton pretty heavily. Yeah, exactly. They're going to draft well, and they actually need offensive line as well. So, how you doing, Mark? Tuning in right before the Dolphins pick. I feel you, man. How you feeling tonight? I'm nervous as hell. We got a bunch of players left that I'd be real interested in for the Dolphins, but I don't know, man. The Dolphins make weird decisions come draft time. You know what? The Steelers need a wide receiver. I hope they take Xavier Worthy right now. Hope the Steelers take him. Just take him away from us. Because I don't know if Mike McDaniel can pass up on another speed receiver. Yeah, I know he's not a Steelers guy. But you know what? Maybe someone got to watching Mike Wallace highlights. Did you think of that? Maybe we're like, you know what? We haven't had a fast receiver like that in a minute. Let's go get that. I'm just hoping, man. Brian Thomas would be funny too. Xavier Leggett would be a fantastic fit for the Steelers. Legitimately. They do, Mark, but I don't want a corner. They do have the potential of that, though. We have corner. There we go. I agree. I love Terry Arnold. All right, here let me hear Cameron Hayward first. I'm on. All right, he's gonna give a speech. I feel you. You're the Man of the Year award winner. I feel you, but I'd be less upset if the Dolphins weren't next. All right, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't that long of a speech. There goes Troy Fats. He's a Steeler. That makes all the sense in the world. All right. That's a great pick, though. That is. It's a great fit for the Steelers. He's 6'4", 317 pounds, really good hands, and doesn't settle for bad hand placement. Athletic, knee bend could be a little bit better. Fantastic player, though. Plays on the left side, keeping it left tackle, angry as hell. That hurts. But Graham Barton and Jackson Powers Johnson are both still here. I would prefer Jackson Powers Johnson, but I would be more than happy with Graham Barton. Weird enough, ESPN has Graham Barton listed as a center. That's weird to me. They do. But I feel like we got that. I feel like we have that with Kendall Fuller and Jalen Ramsey, Nick Needham, Cater Kohu. I think that's a pretty good cornerback room. I still want to take a corner at some point, but right now, Jackson Powers Johnson and Graham Barton are still available. I hope they don't go wide receiver here. We can still get a good player as a receiver, but man. I'm also going to pull up the Eagles real quick so I can talk about them after the Dolphins. And I might want to end up talking about them sooner just because the Dolphins might upset me and I might need a distraction. Dolphins are taking a while. I was joking. I was joking. I was joking about us going to commercial for the Steelers and Dolphins pick. That was rude. Our pick is in. Announce it. You're right. You could slide Kendall Fuller inside. That is where he's best. But man, we can get corner later. We can get a corner later. Center, especially interior offensive line, is going to run out pretty fast. And I think the fact that not a single corner has gone should be a good sign to take offensive line because you can potentially get a corner later where offensive line about to run out. Like really good ones, like plug and play guys. I'm so nervous. So damn nervous. I'll grab my drink. Ton of shit in here too. Pick is in for the Dolphins. Let's make it. Oh my god, I'm an anxious mess. Like yeah, I just don't think our front office values the same positions as logic would dictate. I just feel like the really good teams in the league have good offensive lines. I don't know. It's just kind of how I feel. And again, it's not like I'm not saying don't go corner. I just feel like, Kendall Fuller, Jalen Ramsey, Nick Needham, Kader Kohu. I think all those guys are better than Isaiah Wynn, Aaron Brewer, Robert Jones as our interior offensive linemen. Yeah, I agree. Because we fall apart at the end of the year. Like, that's been the Dolphins' legacy since before I've been watching. Like, even back to the 90s, like, that's what people said about us. Come on. This is just rude. All right, here we go. Come on. Come on. Jackson Powers Johnson was a 30 visit. He's here. We interviewed him. He's who I want. I want Jackson Powers Johnson. Come on. Come on. Let's do it. I don't care what you guys have. I don't care what they have to say. I want them to announce the pick so I can know if I need to throw up or. Why does Mike McDaniel look so bored? Oh, no, there's the excitement. Maybe he's bored because we did go offensive line. He didn't get Xavier Worthy like you wanted, maybe. Come on. I do agree. I would like him to be excited too, but I also want players I want. I don't know. But you are right, though. I don't want another Brian Flores situation, drafting a player our coach doesn't want. But here we go. Chop Robinson? That's not Jared Verse. All right. See, people are going to see my face and just think I hate Chop Robinson. That's not the case. But, man, when are we going to get an offensive line? Jesus Christ. All right. We did need an edge rusher. Okay. He's 6'3", 254 pounds. Great ball get off. He's very explosive. Pretty good with his hands overall. Decent cloth pull. Can actually play zone coverage a little bit. He played with his hand in the dirt at Penn State, but I think he's going to be better standing up. Doesn't rush with a plan. Doesn't have much of a toolbox. Mostly just relies on explosiveness. Very, very, very raw. But very explosive and athletic. Yeah, I agree. I would have preferred Terrion Arnold over Chop Robinson. I agree. Because, like Mark was saying, like putting Terrion Arnold, Jalen Ramsey, and then putting Kendall Fuller inside, that would have been a lockdown situation. Chop Robinson ain't it, bro. Yeah, I agree. He doesn't start on this team. Bradley Chubb and Phillips are going to start over him. No, he's not. He's not ready at all. Does he even play over Shaq Barrett? I don't think he does. All right, I'm moving on to the Eagles. They're about to hurt my feelings. You know, though, they do have Landon Dickerson, who is a center for real. So they could take Graham Barton. Either way, it's about to piss me off. The Eagles do this every year. Man, I don't want to go to bed. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't go to bed. I was so excited waking up this morning. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. They're not going to be satisfied until we can't run through any gaps and we're picking Skylar Thompson off the turf because we're going to run through two quarterbacks. I mean, sure, it could be, but like at that point, I would have rather Jared Verse instead of Chop Robinson. Like, even if we were going to go edge rusher, there were better options, in my opinion. Damn. All right, pick is in for Philly. I'm sorry, I haven't even really talked about them. That's my bad. They do need corner. They need interior. This could be Terrion Arnold. This could be either Jackson Powers Johnson or Graham Barton. I don't know. I'll pull up the Jaguars in the meantime. My energy's definitely off now. I ain't gonna lie to you. That hurt. That hurt my feelings. Jesus. And I don't want it to sound like Chop Robinson isn't a good player because he does have a very high ceiling. But boy, that is not what I wanted. Oh yeah, you're right. But still, Chris Braswell. I even prefer Chris Braswell over Chop Robinson. Damn. And Chris Braswell can even play some linebacker for you too, which is also a pretty big need. Damn. But like once Verse was gone, I wasn't even thinking edge. There. Me too. Now watch, just like with Austin Jackson. People are going to look like 4 years later, hey, look, he was actually a really good draft pick. No, the fuck he wasn't. It took 4 years for him to be good. Oh, yeah. That wasn't... All right. Whatever, man. What's Philly doing? Probably pissing me off, I would imagine. They're probably making a good pick. I would have rather go Xavier Worthy. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I would. Because Xavier Worthy can step in right now as wide receiver 3. Okay. All right, man. Announce the pick. Yeah, I'm sleepy now. Now I'm even less interested in streaming tomorrow. What the fuck? Pissed me off. No, I know. I know. I feel you. But I feel like we could have gotten edge rusher later for that purpose. And we do have Shaq Barrett as well. Exactly, Ryan. And also, why would you draft a edge rusher with no toolkit if you're gonna need him to play right now because Chubb is hurt? Well, Calais Campbell's is more of a like a 3-tech, 3-4 defensive end kind of guy. I still kind of want to pick up Calais Campbell though. He's better than all the defensive tackles left. Quinion Mitchell. All right, first corner off the board. Actually, I'm not that mad. He was actually my third corner, personally. .6 foot, 195 pounds. Not the best in press coverages. Had a very good Senior Bowl, but has the frame and physicality to be better at press coverage. Flips his hips a little bit too early at times. I also think he could flip his hips a little bit smoother. His feet show really good flashes, but I think could be a little bit more consistent. Also, I think he could wrap up better. But very good ball skills, has all the speed you can need, good acceleration, can jump well, solid in zone. But I think he is better in off-man coverage. A little bit raw, but I do think he is a pretty good prospect. True. But again, I think there was other prospects you could have taken. You could have taken Chris Braswell right now. I still would have been pissed about Chris Braswell there. I just don't think the value was there. I think that was a massive reach. Yeah, you're not wrong. He can set the edge. He can set the edge decently. It just needs to be more consistent. Yeah, he runs down the middle people a lot. Yeah. It's not Bo Nix, though, I will say. We don't have the worst pick of the night. Bo Nix was definitely worse. And now that Bo Nix is gone, we can put to bed any thought of drafting him ourselves because he was a top 30 visit. All right. Jacksonville's pick is in. I guess I should give the Jaguars a little bit of love, and then I'll start talking about the Cowboys in a minute. Corner, we could see back to back. Terry and Arnold would make sense. They could use some receiver. Christian Kirk, decent, but Gabe Davis, Zay Jones, I think you can upgrade that. So that would make a lot of sense. Tyson Campbell, Ronald Darby, they need corner. I would go Terry and Arnold. Yeah, I agree. We definitely could have traded back and still gotten Chop Robinson. Michael Penix to the Falcons specifically was worse because they just signed Kirk Cousins. But Michael Penix at that spot in the draft, I think, wasn't as bad. Like Chop Robinson, I have as a second-round pick. He is a second-round talent, in my opinion. Yeah. It's been a weird night. I was so excited, but I was also cautious because the Dolphins don't draft well. But, you know. And don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not saying I hate Chop Robinson. He absolutely has potential. But there were better guys available, man. Damn. And also, don't get it twisted. If he can eventually play to his ceiling, he can be a very good player. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea, Randy. I mean, that kind of depends on the player. I don't need him to learn an entire toolkit at once, though. I just need to learn a couple moves to start with. Yep. Brian Thomas. That's also a reach for the Jaguars. They did need receiver, but I think they were better guys. I think Xavier Leggett. I think Xavier Worthy. I think Lad McConkey. I think those guys are all better. But, you know. 6'3", 209 pounds, good, great balance, good yak guy, great burst for that height, attacks the ball well, can jump well, and has good body control, good catch radius. For his height, he's a decent enough route runner, good ball tracking, deals are pressed pretty decently, pretty solid in scramble drill as well, which is going to be good in that system. I mean, I think his speed is solid but not elite. I seen him as like a second round or maybe late first round pick. So I mean the value kind of makes sense. It's just I think there were better receivers available. I agree. I do think they're going to go offensive line. It seemed like they really liked Graham Barton, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him go here. And it's like, how often do you find draft classes where offensive line is as good as it is this year? Like, we had such potential to go all line. Whatever. So the Cowboys are on the clock. I assume they're going to go offensive line. They could go receiver here, but I doubt it. I do think they need to go receiver at some point, but I don't think they do it here. I think they go corner. I mean, interior offensive line. I mean, Brock Hoffman and T.J. Bass. That's pretty rough on the interior. I don't think they can really go wrong here with Barton or Jackson Powers Johnson. No, and honestly, I don't know what the value is going to look like at 55 for offensive line. And like what you're going to be able to get. Like, let's see. Because at that point, you're going to be looking at like Christian Haynes, and people of that kind of area. And Christian Haynes is good. In my mocks, I take him a lot at 55, but that's after I also draft an offensive lineman in the first round. Like, I was wanting to double down on offensive line. Maybe even triple, because I wanted to get a guard, a center, and a tackle. That's fair enough, man. I may or may not stay this whole first round. I don't know. We'll see. That might depend on what the Cowboys do. They hurt my feelings. I might sign out. To be honest with you. Finish my drink. Probably drink some more. Well, actually, I got to record this Chop Robinson video, too. Because I am going to do a separate video. That way people don't have to watch a almost 3-hour live stream to get my analysis on Chopper Robinson. Looking at a fucking bee and some flowers. We definitely didn't need edge rusher more. And the player value just isn't there. Because even if Bradley Chubb can't play right away, I think Shaq Barrett is a better edge rusher to replace him for a little bit than Aaron Brewer or Robert Jones is for starting at center and guard. And Teron Armstead's going to go down at some point. Yep. I agree. I agree with you, Randy. And I'm not even really trying to snap count in that regard. But I just feel like centers that can move people don't come around often. They just don't. Especially at the talent level of Jackson Powers Johnson. That's why I valued him as highly as I did. Because they're hard to find. Oh, shit. The Lions traded up. Cowboys traded their pick to the Lions. Dallas is now after Buffalo. They got to be trading up for... I understand that. I have no idea what the Lions want. It's got to be corner. Tran Arnold is still available, so is Nate Wiggins. That's the only thing I can think about that would be worth trading up for. Come on. Let's announce the Lions pick. I might call it after this Lions one, man. It's kind of tough putting the first round of the draft on a Thursday night. Like, I know it's every year, but I can see that too. But I also can see us not having a center next year. You know? Because like I said, I did want to take an edge. Like, if you look at my mock drafts this year, I'm always taking an edge at some point. But man, like, if Lietu Latu was still here, we were taking him, I wouldn't be as upset. But I just don't think the value for Chop is that high. Man, as a second round talent, sure. I don't know. Kool-Aid McKinstry kind of make me laugh a little bit. If they draft Kool-Aid McKinstry over Terrion Arnold, I might laugh a little. Well, I really can't. We drafted Chop Robinson. Only one I can laugh at is the Bo Nix one. That was bad. That was bad. So far, like, the Bo Nix pick was the only pick tonight that was actually, like, horrible. So far. Center. 100% center. Because center is harder to find. And we're not paying Chop Robinson $29 million a year. We wouldn't be with Jackson Powers Johnson either. And the issue is that Christian Haynes, who's now probably the next best center, isn't nearly as good as, like, Braylon Trice or Jonah Ellis, like some of the other edge, or Chris Braswell that you can draft later. There it is, Terrion Arnold. That is a great pick for the Lions. They've been drafting very well the last few years too. All right, I'm going to give my opinions on Arnold, then I'm going to sign out of this live stream, and then I'm going to go ahead and record my video on Chop Robinson, because I'm not going to expect everybody to want to go through a 3-hour video to find my thoughts on him. I feel you, Mark. I do understand what you're saying. Trust me. But I just think there were better options. But yeah, he's 6 foot, 189 pounds. Great ball skills, very good hips and feet, changes directions well. Great stop and go acceleration, flips his hips very smoothly and quickly, uses the sideline very well, mostly plays on the outside, but absolutely can play in the nickel if you need him to. Great in press coverage. I think that's where he's at his best. Good awareness and a good tackler. Good in zone, better in man. Early first round is where I predicted him, but I guess not. Has the speed you want, even though I don't think he tested very well. He ran a 4.5 at the combine, but I think he ran faster than that on tape, in my opinion. And he will also absolutely blow up screens in the backfield as well. So, yeah. That's true too, Randy. I do think he can play, though. I do think we will find some snaps for him. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and sign out here. Have a good night, y'all. I'm probably not gonna stream tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how my opinion, my thoughts might change by 7 tomorrow night. But either way, whatever players we do draft, I will be making separate videos on. So yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. If you liked it, I'd appreciate hitting that like button after this becomes a video. Have any questions or comments in the comments down below? Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.